Bride for Sale Part 1. In every village, every street, every city corner, there are whispers about beauty. Some say it is a blessing, a golden crown on the head of the chosen. But in Amma's world, beauty was a curse. Because beauty was the only thing her stepmother thought she was worth. Amma's mother had died when she was still a child. Her father remarried a woman called Madame Abir, and for a time, Amma believed she had found another mother. But as the years passed, the truth unfolded like a snake slithering from its hole. Madame Abir did not see Amma as a daughter. She saw her as a servant. She saw her as a burden. And worst of all, she saw her as a ticket. Amma was 17 when her father died. The little tailoring shop he left behind could barely feed them. Within months, debts swallowed everything. And by the time Amma turned 22, their lives had become a story of hunger. They lived in a cramped two-room apartment on the outskirts of Enugu, where the walls peeled like sick skin, and the zinc roof groaned with every rainfall. Amma spent her mornings fetching water, her afternoons frying akara in front of the house, and her nights stitching torn school uniforms for neighbors. She worked. She prayed. She endured. But Madame Abir's eyes were always on her. Not with love. Not with pity. But with calculation. One evening, when the sun was bleeding red behind the rooftops, Madame Abir called Amma inside. Her voice was unusually soft. "Amma, sit down. There's something I want to tell you." Amma wiped her flour-covered hands and sat down. Her heart trembled because softness was never Abir's way. Madame Abir studied her with narrow eyes. "My daughter, you are no longer a child. Your beauty is ripe. Men notice it. And we cannot continue suffering like this." Amma's brows knotted. "What do you mean, Mama?" "I mean," Abir said, leaning forward, "that someone has seen you. A good man. A rich man. And he wants to marry you." Amma's chest tightened. She shook her head quickly. "Mama, no. I don't want to marry yet. I want to." Silence. Abir's voice cracked like a whip. "You think life is waiting for your dreams? You think akara and needle will feed us forever? A good man has come. He will pay your bride price in full. He will take care of you, and by extension me." Amma's eyes stung with tears. "But, who is he?" Madame Abir smiled thinly, the kind of smile that never touched the eyes. "His name is Abuka. He lives in the city. He runs a company. He is wealthy, respected, and he has chosen you. Do you know what that means, Amma? It means you are blessed. Stop crying over blessings." Amma's lips trembled. "Mama, please, does he not already have a wife? I have heard things." Abir's eyes flashed. "And what if he does? Are you not better off as the second wife of a rich man than the first wife of a poor one? Do you want to rot in this poverty until your beauty fades and nobody looks at you again?" Amma whispered, "But I don't love him." Abir slammed her hand on the wooden table, making the kerosene lamp flicker. "Love. Love will not put food in your stomach. Love will not pay rent. Love will not buy medicine when I fall sick. You will marry Abuka, and that is final." Amma wept that night until her pillow was soaked. She prayed silently that morning would change her fate. But by morning, Abuka himself appeared. He came in a black SUV that looked like a beast on the narrow dusty road. Neighbors peeked from their windows as he stepped out broad-shouldered, well-dressed, and holding a leather briefcase. There was no warmth in his eyes, only possession. Madame Abir bowed like a servant when she welcomed him. "Ah, my in-law-to-be, you are most welcome." Amma stood in the corner, her hands trembling, her wrapper tied loosely around her waist. Abuka's gaze slid over her slowly, like a merchant inspecting goods. "So, this is Amma?" Abir beamed. "Yes. This is the flower I told you about." Abuka nodded once, his lips twitching into a smirk. "She will do." Amma's breath caught. She wanted to scream, to run, to vanish into the earth. But her feet would not move. He set the briefcase on the table and clicked it open. Inside was money. Stacks of it. Abir's eyes widened with greed. "This is just the beginning," Tay said coldly. "The rest will come after the wedding." Amma whispered, almost to herself, "Mama, please don't do this to me." But Abir did not even glance at her. Her hands were already counting. 3 weeks later, the marriage was done. There was no joy in Amma's white gown, only chains. There was no music in her steps, only fear. She sat quietly through the church vows, her voice breaking when she said, "I do." Abuka's first wife did not attend. But Amma heard the whispers. Everyone in town knew she had been taken like a commodity, a poor girl sold to a rich man who wanted another prize to add to his collection. That night, as they drove to Abuka mansion in the city, Amma stared out the tinted windows. The neon lights of Enugu blurred through her tears. In her mind, she heard her mother's voice, the real mother who had died too soon. "Amma, my jewel. Remember, no matter what the world does to you, your heart must never die." Amma pressed her hand to her chest. But already, she felt something inside her breaking. The mansion was too large, too polished, too cold. The marble floors echoed with emptiness. 2 children from his first wife glared at her with hostility when she was introduced. The first wife, Ngozi, ignored her completely, as if she did not exist. Abuka's younger brother was the only one who looked at her differently. Obinna. His eyes were kind, even when he said nothing. He was tall, gentle-looking, with a quietness that set him apart from his older brother. When Amma's gaze accidentally met his across the living room that night, he quickly looked away. But Amma had already seen it. The flicker of pity. The flicker of sorrow. And for the first time since she was sold, Amma's heart whispered faintly, "Someone sees me." Thus began Amma's marriage. A marriage not of love, not of choice, but of betrayal, money, and chains. And though she did not yet know it, the same house that swallowed her was the same house where her forbidden salvation would rise.